So for some individuals, need for achievement. For some individuals, it's need for affiliation. The person may be at the workplace, comfortable at the workplace, even though the salary may not be perfect, but the person is saying, listening to what I hear at other places, my organization, I relate to people nicely. When there's an issue, I know people will be there. The relationship is good. People are not making people feel uncomfortable. So me, I'll stay here. It's fine with me. So the person is looking at comfortable situations, having friends and colleagues, the conflicts, places where conflict is very minimized. For some places, you may be paid the big huge money, but you won't have peace of mind. Somebody will say, me, I like this. I don't want any issue. Where I am, I have my peace, I have friends. If there's something happening in my organization, I'll get a little support. That is enough. Affiliation. Some also need for power, wanting to control their environment, including the people and material resources. So some would have personalized power, some would have social power. Somebody will say, I want to have some power personally, to be able to use it to do this and this and this. Some will say, I want to have power, but in managing people, Once we were discussing this with some undergraduate group, and then in industrial psychology, and so we're using motivation as one of the topics. And then somebody, a student, asking a question, I don't even remember specifically what I asked, but one student decided to say that for me, my need is for power. Need for power that I'm doing, this is a first class student, says, I'm working so hard because what I intend achieving in future is to be an MP. But I want to make sure academically I'm good, so that people in my constituency at that time will say that the person wasn't lazy. The person knew he wanted to have power, but still academically doing very well. And he said, because I know I have this need, from the very beginning, by first year, that started going through the course, I started realizing, oh, this is now I understand, this is my need. I know I have that need, but now I'm trying to appreciate it from theoretical basis, that this is a need. And so he said from the first year, realizing that anytime, and even before he said he was doing it, but he just understood it well. Anytime on holidays, looking at his locality and the need to go to be a member of parliament, he always make sure people know him. He would make sure people get to know him. And so people know him in that area very well. If after school he comes holidays, he hears that, oh, this woman is sick, we'll go and visit. Sit with the person a bit, chat a bit. This is an older woman. Oh, let me pass by, say hello, say something funny to the person. Let the person, if probably there's a funeral, doesn't have money, will be there. Canopy mounting, there, chairs, arranging, this. So he says when you go to that area, everybody knows him as somebody who is very supportive, because he says, I don't have the money. I realize that is my need to be a member of parliament. And so I keep imagining, if he continues like that, and you are competing with such an individual, you will say they're giving him money. They're not. Because somebody who can go to older people, go and sit with them, say things for them to laugh. He says older people know him, very young people know him. Because sometimes he will volunteer areas to vacation when they are not vacated. Go and teach a class. Go and help the school. Anything he can. Everybody knows he's a student. But for him, his knowledge, and they all appreciate that he's first class student. And so because of that, from first year, consistently, we're treating industrial psychology in final year. Still the first class student, about 70. But you see, motivation, need for power, but driving it along the way. So sometimes people do things because of this need. We may not really understand, but that is what the need is, need for power. So what is motivating the person is the need for power and not money at that moment. How I'll get the power is important. So from the base, and when he shared it, the whole class, everybody kept quiet, they were all put there watching. Even on campus, people know that, people know him. And we all kept wondering why people know him like that, even on campus. We were all marveling. I said, oh, this is another level of this need for power. And so I know he's had an opportunity to travel. And so he's hoping quickly learn what he can and come back. So how many of us want to be? What are the MPs already? Oh, please, when you are about going, now that you have the need, I'm sure you have prepared. Please, when you get there, remember some of us. That's why I need you see that you see why I need your information. Then I'll say, oh, that is my student. Let me call, pass by. At least I'll get some more to drink, and then I'm fine. Need for fire. So all the content theorists are looking at the need. Maslow is saying 5 needs. McClendon is saying 3 needs. ERG theory is saying 3 needs. Herzberg is saying 2 needs. So they are all looking at needs. And you seem to see that almost each one of them, there's either something that is almost common. Maslow is saying social needs. ERG is saying existence. McClendon is saying affiliation. So they are almost based on research looking at almost the same. Then the theory X and Y, that one I'm sure you know, isn't it? Where some believe that people are lazy and therefore you need to motivate them in order to work. And some believe that people internally are motivated and therefore sometimes the motivation will be different as to how you motivate them. So the traditional, we took just 2, content theories and then theory X and Y. Now let's look at some of the contemporary ones. The contemporary ones are also a lot. We'll focus on a few. Look at the process needs, process theories, reinforcement theories, intrinsic, extrinsic theories. Process theories, reinforcement theories, intrinsic, extrinsic. So let's look at the process theories. The process theories. The process theories will briefly explain expectancy, equity, and goal theory. Expectancy, equity, and goal theory. Expectancy theory is saying that people believe that work effort would lead to some desired outcome. If I put in a lot of effort at work, I'll get some outcomes. But it depends on the individual, and that desired outcome the individual looks at. So it looks at it from 3 components. It says expectancy, instrumentality, and variance. Expectancy says connection between effort and their performance. Instrumentality is saying perceived probability that performance will lead to valued outcomes. And then variance is saying the net worth of that outcome. Let's make it simpler. Expectancy is saying effort performance linkage. I put in an effort, I'm likely to perform. Instrumentality is saying performance reward linkage. When I perform, I will be rewarded. I'll gain some reward, but that's an individual. And then variance is saying I'm looking at the attractiveness of the reward for me as an individual. For me as an individual. So let's assume that my head of department assigns me to do something. Probably within the next few days they need some reports. Like some reports that I'm trying to work on. Yesterday I slept late with all the tiredness, trying to get to a place where Monday, God willing, I'll have to finish it and submit it. So definitely I have to go to Kumasi, whether rain or shine today. That report, it's needed. And so now I'm working on it. So I'm putting an effort, isn't it? I'm reading materials, typing, working on it, expectancy. At the end, if Monday I'm able to finish, I've achieved, isn't it? Send it the way it is. So I exert effort, I'm able to perform. Now that Monday has come, I've submitted, I'm thinking I'll get a reward. There's going to be some reward with all the effort I put in to perform. So that is instrumentality. Performance, I know I'll get a reward. But in looking at the reward, I'm looking at the attractiveness of it. And so probably I'm thinking that with the effort and all the things I put in, with this particular report, at the end, I'll be giving some letter to show appreciation and then something I can add when I need my promotion. That's what I'm thinking. This reward. For me, if I get something like that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. And then at some point I'm asked, a letter comes in, and then I have I have the letter reading it from the provost, who's saying that for all the efforts you put in, I just want to say thank you and all of that. Then that letter, I can use it as part of my document when I'm going to apply for any promotion. Then in addition said that go to the accounts office, we have something small again for you. That is really attractive. I was looking for the letter. Now I have letter plus cash. So for me, it is attractive. Next time when I'm asked to do that again, I'm likely to do it even though I may not show. So I'll say, oh, I have a lot to do, but well, I'll put in the effort. I'll make sure. So based on it being attractive to me, I'll do it. Let's assume after that, I'm looking at the money-wise and then the letter. I'm looking at both. For me as an individual. Then the letter comes in and silent on money. I wait, there's nothing on money. Well, I pick my letter like that. Next time when the head of department wants to do it, I'm saying, oh, you know you've assigned me, you know my teaching class, I teach core, so my classes are always here. You know I'm teaching the evening, I'm teaching the morning, I'm teaching the weekend group. You know you assigned me to do PhD classes, because that is what government is paying me for. You know you asked me to teach social science, sometimes I have to go and teach social science. You know you asked me to do that. So I seem to be listing whatever he himself has been trying to say that because of that, I think I really may not have time. Because for me, the variance, the cash will not come. And I can't say no to your head of the band because you are science. I'm just saying no, I'm not just saying no, I'm just saying based on these activities, is it possible you can ask somebody to do it? But it is still individual. Let's note. When we put in an effort, we perform. When we perform, we want a reward. But for another person to say I'm motivated, the person is also looking at the attractive of that reward to that individual. Some will go for just thank you. Some will go for monetary. And that is why some people will say that if there is nothing attached with me, I won't do it. There should always be something attached before I do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time and energy. It's not worth it. But somebody will also do it because think that thank you is enough. So expectancy theory, effort will lead to performance, performance will lead to reward, looking at the attractiveness of the reward. Equity theory is saying that, the second one, equity theory is saying that people develop perception of fairness in the distribution and exchange of resources, taking into consideration the outcome and the input ratio. So as an employee, I give my own input to the organization, my time, my talent, my effort, my loyalty, level of education, somebody say my knowledge, my skill, my ability. It is personal, it is of value. So if I'm giving it to you, the organization, to help you achieve your goal, then I should get an outcome. So I'm expecting some pay, I'm expecting some fringe benefits, I'm expecting some social recognition, some status. So I give out something, I want something in exchange, isn't it? Income, input, outcome relationship. But it's saying that when we develop perception of fairness, we look at this input outcome in relation to another person. Some will call the reference. Somebody performing something similar or almost the same activity as I am. Then I'll say there's fairness. Let's assume Mr. Texas taught this class last 2 weeks, isn't it? Let's assume we all started work, we have the same rank, we have the same knowledge, same everything. And then I'm being paid 10 cedis for coming to teach this class. For me, input, I'm traveling all the way, coming here to teach is 10 cedis. I take it. Then at some point I hear that Mr. Tyson also traveled to come and teach this class, and I hear he's being paid 20 cedis. with my 10 cedis, it's mine, it's okay. But once I hear another performing similar with the same everything, almost everything, then now I'm saying there's no fairness. You see, that is when that fairness issue will come in. So I realized he's being paid 20 cedis. I said, hey, well, what is happening? Then I would basically hear probably others also complaining like that. This person thought this class is being paid. So we can come together and start talking about it. Probably even show some placards that we are not being treated fairly. Then possibly talk to our union. Then union is negotiating, it's still not working. Then at some point I'll say that because I'm not treated fairly, I'm going to teach other classes, but this class that I'm being treated, I won't teach. So I'll engage in other activities, but I'm not teaching. If that issue is still there, somebody is getting the 20, I'm getting the 10, and a few of us still complaining, and we are not hearing anything. At some point we say we are on total strike, isn't it? I'm not teaching any. Now I'm on strike. That's what we do, isn't it? Then if I'm on strike, it means I won't go to work. I can get up early in the morning, make sure I do my house chores, do some cleaning, do some things. When I'm done, then now I have to relax. But before I relax, I should have myself some breakfast. So I can fry egg, cut onion, pepper in there, add sausages, cut it into small bits, cut them into the egg, get some corn, canned corn, pour near it, get some baked beans, pour near it, toast my bread, make myself a cup of tea, go and sit behind my TV, cross my legs. I'm on strike. Once saying that, a student said, hey, this is actual fancy thing. Fancy breakfast. I said, I'm married to one, so I really go appreciate. I mean that. Give myself all that. And trust me, I can make a breakfast like that. Me myself chill. I'm on strike. Because I'm being treated fairly. That is all it is. Because I'm saying that what I'm being given in relation to the other person is not fair. And that is why it said that equity theory is being related to pay a lot, equity theory. And so now ideas coming in, now people are looking at organizational justice. Is the distributive even correct when it comes to procedural justice? Information, is it shared equally? So people are looking at fairness in all of these. Some even believe that is the reason why we have the single spinal. So no matter where you are, if you are performing the same or similar with almost the same rank, you get the same pay. Using the educational sector as an example, if you are teaching classes 1 to 5 or 6 or JHS or SHS, once you have the same ranking, your pay is the same. It doesn't matter whether it's basic level or secondary level. So if it is me, I'll go to basic level. When there are holidays, I'm not going. Whether you're a rural community and urban, some are, there's not too much research, but we need to do, but some are saying that based on this, they think that people who used to sacrifice, though they are doing it, but it's going down. Because they believe that you can sacrifice all you will not even thank you. And then you see the same thing. Could be true, could be false. But that is why some believe there is a single spine. So some people won't work. At the end, they know they'll pay, get the pay as she is getting even she works. Because we are around the same. So it's been related to pay a lot. And that is also why some will say we have pay secrecy and pay openness for some organizations. Some will say everybody will know each other's pay. Some will say if you don't know, you don't compare. And so the other person doesn't know who the other person is getting. Those only probably in the finance, and they've been made aware that if you share that with another without authority from that person, you'll be sacked. Somebody shared a story last semester where that happened at one of the organizations, that based similar names, but I think they had a slip, and then even though it's online, they still had an envelope that is inserted, sealed, and the name written at the back. The person interchanged. And so that person was sacked, and the two people had to go through another selection process, to go through interviews, and their pay redesigned. ACCRA. You don't know, you don't compare. Equity theory. In our organizations, is it pay secrecy or openly? You have pay secrecy. Just because of some decisions looking at equity theory. If you don't know, you don't compare. Probably being given 10 cedis, it's okay for me. As long as I had the 20s where I'm complaining, the 10 was fine for me. Probably it's even way overpayment for me. But once I had somebody getting 20, yay! And we all say that the national cake should be shared equally. Because we are knowing somebody getting better. So that is why if you don't know, you don't compare. But equity theory is being used. So people have come up with ideas related to equity theory. Goal theory is just saying that people will set goals and attempt to achieve those goals. That will be what will move them to want to perform. So basically that is simple setting goals. So in relation to the organization, it is being encouraged that organizations would set participating goals with the employees. That's all. If we all set the goal, we are all likely to achieve it. So we set challenging goals, we set specific goals once you have feedback among others. So goal theory, I'm sure you did management by objectives in HR. Oh, the HR you did. It's one of the ways people, if we set all set objectives as a whole organization, as a unit, then because we all set that objective, we want to achieve it. So for example, this class, we all agreed, based on departmental discussion with the head of department, that at least for our MSc class, the lead will teach Kumasi and ACCRA. And so we are all here, and so you see always the lead teaching Kumasi and ACCRA, just to make sure they understand it. And then we get information from those who we specifically chosen, some people we know can deliver, to also go to Takrade and who, so that based on the feedback we get, we can together use it to set the questions among others. So when I know based on the feedback, if there are some topics I'm not going to set questions on them, I'll let you know. Don't worry. Is that okay? Yes. I'll let you know.
You go to heaven.
Well, that is my policy. What I expect from you, I'll tell you. I don't want you to be shrouded in secrecy. So if there's a topic based on the feedback, topics that I think I won't set questions for, I will ask you not to read those topics again. I will let you know. But for now, we're reading because I have not gotten the feedback yet. Is that okay? So you read and get yourself with all of them. At any point in time, quickly, when I get that information from the facilitators, from the two regions. Yes, it's important because it's somebody teaching and not me, the lead. For example, the day bonds, I showed it to you, I showed it to Kumasi, they may not have the opportunity. So sometimes that will determine how they think the class went, how they think topics they were comfortable with, they received it. And then that would favor everybody. Is that okay? Yes. So we did set a goal. This is what we want to do, and that is what we are trying to do. And if people are happy like that, oh, those who take my class know. Everybody knows that. Even undergraduates, if there are topics I want, when I finish setting the person,